Ladies and gentlemen, I am finally back up to full capacity. Yes, yesterday, hopefully you all had a tremendous Christmas day. I, in fact, put in some work and I got my good old computer up and running, so you're going to notice a couple of things around here, okay? The layout might not look too terribly different if you're new to the channel, obviously. I got the different header and all that stuff, and maybe you might notice a couple of different things when it comes to the video playing on your chosen device, whatever you want to watch this or listen to this stuff on. It really won't make that much of a difference, especially if it comes to audio or anything like that. But for video, could be doing another upgrade on top of that. But also, yes, you can notice maybe just a little bit nicer of a picture. That's going to be there, my beautiful smiling face down there in the bottom right hand corner for you. I'll be able to provide something a little bit better. Things are going to be running a little bit smoother around here, and I'm just overwhelmed with how much better this is than just, my old backup rig, which I've been using for the better part of a year. It's just so nice to be back at least, full-ish capacity, right? And we've got, well, kind of a downer story, really, to kick things off. Okay, alluded to it before Christmas, and, well, it was a story that I could have talked about yesterday, but I was busy, and nobody really wants to talk politics on Christmas, right? But it's pretty significant. It involves the great state of Arizona, and yes, a gubernatorial election that was won by the lady conducting the election. Nothing funny about that at all whatsoever, and it's not like there was a court case, a multiple day long court case, only for all of the evidence that was presented, which was seemingly going in one direction, to just be, oh yeah, no, all of this stuff looks pretty good in your direction, but no, we can't be having any of that stuff because Katie Hobbs is our rightfully and dutifully elected governor, okay, and she will be inaugurated in the new year, and we need to figure out how she won this wonderful, fantastic, legitimate election. All right, Arizona judge rules on Kari Lake's election lawsuit, and yeah, there's subsequent rulings in there as well, but we'll go ahead and we'll cover all of this stuff, but we'll keep it nice and brief too, because I got a lot of stuff to record today, because I want to put everything through the paces at this point in time. So it's a little bit selfish, okay? An Arizona judge ruled against Republican gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake's election case. I'm not shocked by this. I'm not really terribly saddened by this. I like Kari Lake. I thought she was good, incredibly good. She's still going to be good, whatever capacity or whatever role she ends up taking going into the future. She is the type of fighter that the Republican Party needs. But Dawn, she lost her election. Oh yeah, in Arizona, huh? What is this, third election in a row that's been a little bit, what's the nicest way to put this, contentious in the state of Arizona, confirming, yes, that Katie Hobbs will be the next governor of Arizona. Court didn't find any clear or convincing evidence that misconduct happened during the 2022 Arizona general election and confirmed Katie Hobbs' election, Arizona Superior Court Judge Peter Thompson said in the ruling. Thompson also ordered Hobbs' side to file a statement of costs and a motion for sanctions before December 26th. We got that. We'll go over this after the fact. I want to go through this evidence of no clear and convincing misconduct that happened. My election case provided the world with evidence that proves our elections are run outside of the law. This judge did not rule in my favor. However, for the sake of restoring faith and honesty in our election, I will appeal this ruling. I haven't seen a ruling, or I haven't seen an appeal get filed yet. Not to say that there isn't one. I just haven't seen it. And to be completely honest, man, like the criminal justice system works for the most part when it comes to individual people. Now, there's another story that I'm going to be talking about either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because there's a new Twitter files drop, and I know they aren't terribly popular, but I want to talk about this one, okay? And if we're going to be talking about election issues, we might as well couple that with some coof issues, especially when it comes to censorship, because I just got a strike off the channel a couple of weeks ago, and I want to see how far we can push this stuff. Whatever, right? But back to this. Oh, sorry. Hobbs, who is currently the Secretary of State, certified the results of the gubernatorial election on December 5th. The smiles and Doug Ducey's cucked ass just sitting next to her going, "You're going to be so great and it's wonderful." Which show Lake lost the race to Hobbs by just over 17,000 votes. Just outside what you would need for an automatic recount to be triggered. Nothing funny about that at all whatsoever. Thompson ruled earlier in the week that 2 out of the 10 claims brought by Lake can go to trial, including Lake's claims about intentional interference with ballot printers and chain of custody problems. Yeah, one thing that I did see about this was, especially about ballot printers. They were supposedly tabulating all of the results. You got your ballot printed out, you'd fill it all out, and this was even being recorded on the day. People would go down there and feed it into the ballot or into the tabulator, and then the ballot would just come back out. It wouldn't be received, it wouldn't be tabulated or anything like that. Error would just be set on the top or whatever the message was, and there was video recordings of this. I've seen it multiple times, and I'm pretty sure it was presented in the court as well. Mostly because they found out, during that random sampling, that inspection that we talked about back when all of this stuff was getting decided. Yeah, guess what? Those ballots, some of them were printed on 19-inch paper. The tabulators are designed to accept 20-inch ballots. These are just the little things that are apparently inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Everything got counted. Don't worry about it. And as for chain of custody, I've seen some numbers out there. I wonder if we can get anything clear and convincing here, because obviously none of it affected the outcome of the election, right? Everything was done to the best of Katie Hobbs' abilities. The judge credited Lake's key witness, Mark Sonaclar, and Heather Honey, but rejected the claim that intentional misconduct happened during the midterm election. Did it have to be intentional in order for them to win? It's interesting, because one of the other claims that I know about this at the same time, one of the other claims was to, of course, do a signature check. And the last time that we seen an audit, specifically of Maricopa County, there were a lot of signatures that looked an awful lot like scribbles. Not like, how doctors or, even just, self-important people have the big squiggly signature and stuff. No, legitimate, like, up and down, etch-a-sketch scribbles. And then also just lines through the signature box. Didn't want to check any of that. No, you can't be doing that. Latches and lack of standing. Yeah. Court credits the personal observations of Mr. Sonaclar and does not doubt his knowledge of or his veracity, but the court cannot follow Mr. Sonaclar to ascribing intentional misconduct to any party, of course, because this was ultimately what was going to happen with these lawsuits. We had the precursor in 2020 where nobody wanted to get within a 50-foot radius of any of these lawsuits. They would be dismissed thanks to judicial discretion, right? Well, latches. Clearly, you filed this stuff way too late, Could have filed it earlier, but then we would have just thrown it out because of standing, right? It's not certified yet. You don't have standing to sue because it hasn't been certified yet. Oh, wait, the election results were certified? Latches, it's too late. You can't actually, contest anything that's already been certified. That's the way that any judge who doesn't want to touch any of these highly political arguments, that's how they can just dismiss them forthright. And that was obviously, that's what everybody knew what was going to happen, but just for the fact that this went to trial, I don't know who was paying attention to this stuff. I don't know if anybody was taking notes to see what the hell was going on, but ultimately, this ruling right here, we'll get through the rest of the rulings and stuff because, just for completion's sake, but I don't know if they're just telling you, cool, take a look at everything that Hobbs' campaign did, even extrapolate that out back to 2020, take a look at everything that was done here. Republicans, take note, you gotta do it better, Not making any claims, not saying anything, They're just showing you how the race is run. Now, you just gotta understand that track, you gotta understand the terrain, and you gotta move appropriately. With that information, what you will. Thompson drew a similar conclusion about Honey's chain of custody claim. Every one of the plaintiff's witnesses, and for that matter, defendant's witnesses as well, was asked about any personal knowledge of both intentional misconduct and intentional misconduct directed to the impact of the 2022 general election. Every single witness in this court disclaimed any personal knowledge of such misconduct. The court cannot accept speculation or conjecture in place of clear and convincing evidence. That's funny because anything that was speculative would have been objected to as hearsay or any numerous ways that you can dismiss evidence or testimony that is inconclusive. So again, this is just a very flowery way of saying, listen, we gave you your day in court, okay? Now just stop complaining and lose with dignity. This is still the state of John McCain, after all. Case in point, how everything's manifested now with Democrats in charge of everything. Malicious intent was proven, according to Lake. Okay, but the judge saw different, right? Thompson's ruling came 2 days after the trial. Came after a two-day trial, in Mesa, Arizona courtroom. Lake insisted in a statement after the trial that malicious intent was proven by her witnesses. We provided expert testimony. We provided experts. The other side brought in activists to try to save face. They admitted that they've known about these ballot problems, Lake said. Her lawyers proved with beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was malicious intent that caused disruption so great it changed the results of the election, Lake said, adding, we demand fair, honest, transparent elections, and we will get them. And I pray so hard for this judge. And he was like, yeah, I hear your prayers. I hear them. I'm not going to do anything about it, but I hear him. Abacana. Sorry, what? Am I casting a spell? A lawyer representing Hobbs told the courtroom in Maricopa County that Lake's attorneys have not established whether printer problems on election day were intentional acts. Bruh, you fucking printed all of the ballots. Like, let's just stop it. We know exactly what the fuck it is. And Hobbs is in charge of the fucking elections, okay? She knows exactly what types of machines are there, what types of paper they accept, and what types of paper were used to print the ballots. Like, just fucking stop it. You know this. Trial's closing arguments on last week Thursday. Kana said Lake's claims were based on hearsay, speculation, and theatrics. And then in the closing arguments of the other side, of course, you just get the similar emotional pleas, okay? But this was a bench trial. Ergo, a judge was never going to rule on this in any capacity other than, just dismiss it and just get it out of my courtroom. It's nice. You guys put on a good show. You presented your evidence, and the evidence of which that I really can't talk about on this platform. Okay, I seen Viva Fry was covering the trial day by day, point by point. You can talk about it all you want over on Twitter, and Viva has several highlights of it up there, but over here, man, I'm feeling ballsy, but not that ballsy, man. So yeah, the 2 days, it was just clear hearsay, conjecture, speculation, theatrics, everything you want to throw at the book, and obviously it was just so damaging that Katie Hobbs is asking for a lot of money. Even though her campaign, her campaign was, okay, and then also her law team was funded by the people of Arizona. So why does she need sanctions? I'm just wondering, man, because she's the Democrat through and through, right? She's just going to continue to spend and spend and spend because instead of, shoring up any of the concerns from 2020 in the state of Arizona, which she was the Secretary of State over, okay, we already have established that. What was her response to fixing any of the concerns that were there? Well, just go ahead and buy new machines. Oh, okay, cool. She's just going to continue to fucking spend and spend and spend and spend. So, she needs other people's money. And as a precursor to her reign in office, well, here we go. Arizona Secretary of State's office in Maricopa County on Monday petitioned a judge to sanction GOP candidate Kari Lake after her election-related lawsuit was rejected over the weekend. On Monday, the two parties filed a motion in Maricopa County Superior Court against Lake and her legal team. Courts are established by Arizona Constitution and statutes to resolve actual disputes between parties. Maricopa County Deputy Attorney Thomas P. Liddy wrote Monday in a 15-page memo asking Judge Peter Thompson for the sanctions and attorney's fees. They do not exist that candidates for political office can attempt to make political statements and fundraise. They should not be used to harass political opponents and sow completely unfounded doubts about the integrity of elections. All of those things happened in this matter. You know what this is right here? This is also setting precedent that if there's any concerns about anything in the future, don't fucking seek reprieve for it, okay? This was this judge. Again, I might be reading between the lines on this stuff because obviously this is gonna cost the Lake campaign, war room, whatever the fuck she wants to call it. Okay, this is going to cost them quite a bit of money. Do we got actual money? Do we got actual, $25,050 in attorney's fees and sanctions against, I guess, the lawyers? It's like, you represented something that is a danger to our democracy. Fuck off. Because, I can see it. It's just the same old fucking script that's there over and over again. and her counsel, Lake's counsel, doubled down with the present action. This court should sanction both lawyers and client under Arizona law to impart to them the seriousness of their misuse of the courts to seek to undermine Arizona elections and impugn hardworking election workers and officials for purely political, not legal purposes. If it was unlegal, why did the judge take up 2 of the claims that were there and they had a 2-day trial? If this was just clearly, I feel like it would have got tossed out earlier, okay? I guess. I understand that. This is going up against the state. The fucking state can foot the bill. Fuck off. I got a couple of additional claims here before we peace out on this one. Okay, among the other claims, Lake cited Maricopa County official November 8 news conference in which they confirmed printer errors at a number of tabulation centers across the county. During the 2-day trial, she brought in several witnesses that said the problems disproportionately impacted Republican voters. Okay. After Thompson's ruling, Lake issued a statement saying that her lawyers proved without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, we already went on that. Lake also called on pollster Richard Barris, who told the court he believes technical problems at polling places had disenfranchised enough voters that would have changed the outcome of the race in Lake's favor for reasons like, oh, okay, cool. You can still go down there. You can still fill out your ballot. You just got to throw it in that box next to the dumpster, and we'll make sure we count it afterwards. Don't worry about it. We got you. That's what he's talking about. It's not like he took the ballots and fucking rip them up or anything like that. Nobody's saying that yet. It was just, it's another one of these things, right, where, okay, cool, you know exactly what the rules are, you know exactly what you can get away with, how far you can push, okay, how close you can get to a person before they say stop, and then you take one step back, and then you just continue to push a little bit forward. You just try to figure out the boundaries that are right here, how close you can get up to it without actually crossing the line. It'll just be very, very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see if anybody learns from this on either side. What exactly can you get away with? Okay, running a complete, open, and honest election. It's like, yeah, okay, as much as you can in today's day and age, okay? Figure out what it means to run a fair, open, and honest election, okay? So that you're not caught behind the 8 ball once again when this shit ultimately goes down. A couple years from now, because that's going to be the big one, boys. So yes, with all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.